Okay. We got the green light. Audio check, 1, 2, we're good. All right, everybody, hello. My name is Bezad.
I'm Risa.
And we are here from Wonder Looper. We are broadcasting live from the Wonder Looper International Headquarters, Global Universal Headquarters, Space Station? I don't know. Right here from Yokohama, Japan. Thank you for joining us for our, I guess this is our second live stream, or is this our third live stream? I don't remember.
I think second.
Second
maybe.
live stream.
Yeah. It's been a while.
It's been a little while, so we wanted to catch up with everybody. We'll give the room a moment here to populate, but if you are here in the chat, let us know where you guys are tuning in from. Today, we're going to talk about some changes that we have to do. We just want to have your opinions on some production changes that we have to make. Right. We're going to introduce some new colors. We're going to talk about some new products that we've got lined up, answer some of your questions live, talk about weights and compositions and things like that. Basically, it's a free-for-all for everybody. So, I'm glad everybody was able to make it. I know it was a short notice type of thing, but right now we are in the midst of doing another production run. And so we just want to make sure that these changes are going to be acceptable for the community. Which I think they're going to be. Anyways, we'll get into that into a minute.
Right.
But
right.
yeah.
We're going to go into it. Yeah. But yeah, we just wanted to kind of, we did have prior to this, we did have like a first collection review of everything. And then now we're in the process of developing the second collection, which is going to be, we're not really following the fashion, seasons and stuff like that, but it's going to be available in time for fall when it starts to get
cold again.
Yeah. So, there's just some excitement going on. So I just want to talk to you guys.
Yeah, so let's check in with the chat. We've got Discotheque. Hello from Normandy. Love my heavyweight hoodie. Welcome, welcome. Melody Murray. Hello. Good to see you. Hello from Tucson Junior. Hey, y'all. Welcome here. So let's talk about the first topic, which is the heavyweight hoodie.
Yes. So you might be able to...
Just want to hit the... my mic might be a little too hot.
Oh.
So I just want to turn it down a little bit. Okay.
You might be able to guess heavyweight hoodie of this fabric is this thickness. It become a problem when it's when they're sewing. Sewing it's just some parts of the hoodie would have like 8 layers of fabric, and 8 layers of this is so thick.
Yeah.
So we were able to produce this as is for the first batch, but in the process of making these, they broke like 70 something needles apparently. And good thing in Japan, they do have this needle scanning machine. Like all of sewing factory has to have it by law, that they have to put these finished products through this machine to make sure that there is no broken needle in the products. So nobody should have that, but it is a problem for our sewing factory. Yeah. So we have to make some changes from this particular hoodie.
Yeah. So we have the double layer hood was, of the several problems of sewing this heavy fabric, the double layer hood was the most difficult part. So just because of the way we have it constructed, let me show you. We both have one on, but just for example. So this one here was the original sample where we had the folded over hood. So basically we could take one piece of fabric, fold it over at the front, and it goes down here, and you can have a double layer hood this way.
Yeah, it is the most common way to have double layer hood. Most of hoodies out there that has a double layered hood do it this way. Right. Yeah. But we wanted to show off the inside of the fabrics because we think that this like giant loops inside are very cool as well. Yeah. So we decided we wanted double layer in the hood, but then we wanted to show off. So we basically double layered in like 2 pieces of fabric facing the same way and then sew it together like that. This became a problem with this double heavyweight fabric, because again, there's just so many layers of fabric.
Right. So
Yeah.
you basically have to sew this whole area. These areas have to be sewn down in here.
This is the part.
The collar, this part right here, where all
Yeah.
the pieces come together, became an issue.
Problem. So the sewing factory basically begged us not to do this again. So we are going to make a change. And today we wanted to kind of ask you guys what change we could make that is,
Well, right. There's two things that we can do here.
Yeah.
Right. We can revert back to the original double layer and have it a folded over double layer hood. So it's still super, super thick. Or what we do is a single layer hood where
you can see the inside.
you can see the inside, but it's only a single layer.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Well, the ideal change, I think, is going to single layer
Right.
hood, because that's just that much less fabric for the factory to deal with.
Right.
And I did find from wearing mine and, washing them and all of that stuff, I did find that, like, because the fabric is so thick, that it doesn't necessarily need the double layer here for it to, like, stand. I like the look of, like, hood standing up a little, and that's why we went with the double layer. But I think it would stand without it being double layer for this fabric. For fleece Fox Fibre, we'll continue to have the double layer so that it would have, like, a little bit of a substantial hood.
Yeah.
But for this fabric, I feel like single layer is fine. And then, when you wash it, this part is the part that doesn't dry.
Yeah.
Like the
It's harder
double
to
layer.
dry.
Yeah, because it's, everything is double. And it's,
Yeah.
I don't know. That's my opinion. That's my experience. I just wonder if, like, some people are, like, really loving that. Like,
I'm leaning towards doing the single layer on the 701 also, because I like seeing those French terry loops. I really like it. On the gray, obviously, it's more contrast here.
Yeah.
But on everything else, it's more tonal. But I like seeing the loop. So I think visually, it'll look the same. It won't feel as heavy, but it'll still be a heavy hood. Like, if you never got the OG, the original one, you probably won't notice the difference, but it'll still remain a very substantial hood. So that's where we're leaning here. But yeah, we have to make some concessions. I don't want to give the factory too many problems. They're doing God's work for us. Discotheque writes, what's important in my opinion is that the inside of the hood looks different from the outside. I agree. Mike Knight, I had to pick between a knife or a thick shirt. I went with the knife. All right. I guess. Christian B writes, what Discotheque said.
Okay.
C. Sanchez, single layer sounds good. Melody writes, I also agree with the hood looks different on the...
All right.
The hood looks different from the outside.
Oh, that's great.
I like the contrast. People like the contrast. Okay, so it sounds like we're all on the same page here. I think that's that. So that said, if you want the OG double hood, whatever production that is out there, that's it.
Yeah.
So if you want the double thick hood,
Yeah.
you got to get what's available now, because the next production moving forward will be the single layer.
Yeah.
So I think we've established that. Okay.
I
wonderful.
never really thought about it, but, like, this part of like 2-layered part is 1400 GSM.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot of fabric.
Yeah.
Discotheque asks an important question. Here's a tough question. Will that lower the price a little bit?
Well, so price-wise, we are not guaranteed to have... We are actually informed by our suppliers that the price is going up. Cotton price is going up. Like, all the labor costs are going up. So we were told that we should expect price raise. And we, on our end, will try our best to keep the price as is. Maybe this might help in a very small way.
Yeah.
But At the same time, I don't think you would see a substantial difference between the price of this. If we could keep it the same, I think that's already a win.
Yeah, right. So the whatever cost savings we'll get from the hood, construction, it might get overtaken by the material cost increases. So this is something that's happening across the board. I mean, not just for us, but you guys know we do Naked and Famous and everything like that, and it's an industry-wide thing. We just came from the trade shows, and garment costs are up across the board, and prices are up across the board. Everyone's dealing with this, so it's definitely a global phenomena.
And like raw materials, like cotton price goes up, everything goes up just automatically, and that's something that we have no control over.
Yeah.
And
we do run the company pretty lean, so we're able to, we do our best to keep, price control, control the prices the best we can. So, we're always going to try and offer the best possible price for everybody. Right. There's no egos involved here with our pricing. So I know our products are expensive, but what we do try to make sure is that what you're getting is the best of the best, right?
Right. So we're not trying to hit a price point in expense of quality or things that we want to make. That's why the price is out there. Yeah. But I mean, some people probably don't think it's worth it, and that's fine. It's a very subjective thing. But we are pretty honest in terms of we're not like overcharging you just for the sake of it.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like to think about what we do is kind of like, a luxury watch or like a sports car or like even the audiophile world where it's like up to a certain point, like, you got like the best, price for quality performance. And then when you want to get or even like, Olympic running, it's just like at one point everyone's really good. And then to be in that upper echelon 1%, like it's just incremental differences, but the cost to get to those incremental differences are high, right? And that's what kind of like you might see a heavyweight hoodie in the 400, 500 GSM range, but like a heavyweight hoodie in the 700 GSM range, you just don't see it. And because of that, it costs that much more.
Yeah, but I have to disagree that your comparison with like cars or watches. Like there are definitely luxury tags. Like you have Rolex. It's not they're the price of Rolex is not 100% the quality.
Fair enough. Yeah. Maybe the Olympic runner.
Perhaps
that's a better analogy.
Yeah.
But yeah, we know we're pricey. We're definitely not trying to compete with the giant manufacturers of t-shirts and things like that. We just want to make the best that we can. All right. Simon Corzan snagged the hoodie.
Nice.
Enjoy. Andreas, loving my Sumi black crew neck my girlfriend got me for Valentine's Day. Oh, fantastic. Oh, yeah, that's right. It's Valentine's Day.
Oh, yeah.
Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. It's the 15th for us here in Japan. I know it's the 14th for many of you out in North America land. I hope you're having a wonderful Valentine's Day, and thanks for spending some of it with us.
Sorry to bother you.
Sorry to bother you on Valentine's Day.
Well, hopefully if you have a very romantic plan, you're not watching this, you're gonna watch this.
Yeah, watch the replay. Yeah. Mags writes, I wish some audiophile was as much as these pieces. Audiophile gear can get very, very, very pricey, very fast. Okay, this is a good question. C. Sanchez writes, Risa, what has been the funniest or your favorite word you've chain-stitched on Wonder Looper order so far?
That's a good question. Okay. There was one that like a customer requested a little heart mark. Which I thought it was very simple, but it was just very cute. It was like a red chain stitched heart on a t-shirt. I might have put it on Instagram at some point. So that was cute. I think word wise, somebody asked me to do I say
bad Emmer Effer.
Yeah.
From Pulp Fiction. You guys may remember the wallet.
But in the, not like spelled out, but like, you know. It's
Yeah.
So that was kind of cute. I thought it's cute because it's like, you know, chain stitch, you know, fuzzy, cozy chain stitch, and then it's like,
the contrast.
Yeah.
So that's pretty good. I remember somebody asked for rosin. And we didn't know what that was.
Yes, and then I asked him.
Yeah, and I think it's
like a marijuana related
variety, I think. So we get some fun requests here and there. Nothing that we've had to say absolutely no to, but thankfully we haven't had to have those conversations.
What would I say no to?
I mean, something bad. You know, here's a good example. Like the other day, I was in Montreal at Tatignoko, and we're in the warehouse, and somebody was sending someone a gift. So they bought a gift for somebody, but the name that they put, they kind of wrote a vulgar. I guess they were friends, obviously, but I'm like, we can't ship it like that. Because like I just don't want our name.
Yeah, it's coming from us.
Yeah, it's coming from us. So I don't want it to say, swear word. Even though between you guys, you know, sure, you call each other whatever you want, but we're not gonna get involved in that one. Okay. Question from LF. Hi guys, I see you're selling to JeanStore in the UK. I've never heard of this company. Are they a legit stockist? Are they a decent company? Thanks. They are both of those things.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're pretty. I don't think currently they have a physical store. I think they used to, but not right now. But they are a pretty big retailer, online retailer of jeans.
Yes.
And other things.
Yep.
Like sweaters.
Like one products. Yeah. I just saw them in Paris a few weeks ago. Great guys.
Yeah.
And
they're very good people. They're very professional, and they do a lot of business with us and Naked and Famous too. So I think they're a pretty large company too.
Yeah. So you can absolutely trust them. I mean, everybody like retailer wise we work with are people that we know, and so we're very confident, and we try to work with basically the best. And the other thing with our retailers, like we're slowly expanding, but not to a crazy degree. We just want to make sure that our products are sold through like the most legit, you know, the people with the best customer service records, these type of things, that they're going to be able to get that product to you. We want you to be able to shop in store when you can, or if you can, at least, you know, you can be able to find your products from a European retailer or an American retailer. Look, we love it when you buy from us, but of course, you know, if there's issues with sizing, returning back to Japan can be quite pricey. So if you're buying from our store, just make sure you're getting the right size for sure.
Right. We just want to emphasize, I'm sure the people who are watching right now might be aware of this, but you really don't want to rely on, I'm usually a medium, so I'm going to be medium. You don't want to rely on that. It's not as like, you know, particular as jeans, but it's still like a very important thing that you measure what you have. Like if you're buying a hoodie, measure a hoodie that you already own, that you know it's going to fit, and measure the chest, measure everything to make sure that you're getting the right size. Because I've had a couple returns, but it's just every time it's just like, I'm sorry, but I can't give you any better rate than we have. Like usually our rate is cheaper than whatever like individual customers can get from their local carriers. So we do create the return labels and stuff like that, but we can't offer free returns or anything like that. We can't even offer like decently priced.
Yeah, I mean, it is decent. All things considered, it's decent, but it can be a chunk of money. So just be careful with sizing. That's not just with us, that's with everybody. So just expect.
Right. And that's why we want to have a pretty, you know, good selection of our products carried at like countries where, you know, like where a lot of our customers may be from, and we encourage you to go to like our stockist page. We would update every time we have a new customer, but you know, like for the next fall, for the next drop of things, we might add a couple of new retailers on the list, so please check them out and buy locally if you can.
Okay, Discotheque, good question. I'm surprised and happy with your choice of having no branding, no logo on the garments. Can you explain why you picked that option? You know, I don't know. I like clean garments in general, and our tag is it's
pretty out there.
It's pretty out there, and you can see it, but I mean, it doesn't have to be an advertised for anybody else.
Yeah, I think maybe it is a thing that we are going to consider in the future. Maybe a very small, like not in your face, but like a small like
something somewhere
where it shows that it's our product. I think our like.
Yeah, one thing that we're working on is having our logo on the metal part of the cord. So, I mean, it'll be very small.
Yeah.
But a little, because, like, the cost difference between having, like, nothing on it and having something on it is so little considering how much we have to order. So it just kind of makes it worth it. So,
and I do think, like, our puffy and the codes are kind of unique.
Yeah.
We don't see this so often.
Yeah.
So that's also
there might be some little things here and there, but nothing is ever going to be in your face.
Yeah. It's not about our brands.
Yeah.
It's about the products.
Yeah. You're never going to see like a Wonder Looper, across your chest like that.
Yeah, unless you request it and Chainstitch.
Unless you request it and Chainstitch, but that's you. That's your call. Okay. Okay, Christina B. Saw some amazing chain-stitch embroidery towards the bottom of the Wonder Looper Instagram. Big fan of the style. Would it be possible to get custom artwork like that on the back of a hoodie? That's a good question.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm going to say that I'm not going to say no, but it might be difficult just because, like,
those
the
take
time,
weeks.
Yeah, the time, and also those things can be costly. And when I started Wonder Looper with the chain stitch, services as the main thing, it was something that I wanted to focus on outside of my full-time job at Naked and Famous. And now that I have Wonder Looper product line that is also taking up a lot of our time, that I might not be able to handle that like extra responsibility of change, like full-time chain stitch, like a big chain stitch thing. It's like something that I do, like just a couple words or something on each t-shirt or hoodie or whatever. Those are something that I can handle because it's very small. I can do it in a short amount of time. But the big ones are like, I'm not really,
There's a lot of design involved with it, and the design process, that could take hours just to draw it out and make sure that the layout is all right. And then the actual physical.
There's a lot of back and forth with customers and stuff. That's also, if that's your job, then that's great. A lot of people do a great job, but like that's not my main thing right now. So I don't want to promise anything at this point.
It's really nice, Risa. Really nice. She'll consider it, and I know many of you are. So, anyways. Yeah, it's not completely off the table.
No.
But if we open it, we'll open it up, and then we'll take a couple of commissions and treat it like that, probably.
Perhaps.
Yeah.
If
expect
you're
a long lead
interested
time.
and if you're okay with the fact that it might be very expensive because it takes a lot of time, then just send me an email and we'll figure something out.
One thing that we could probably do down the line is maybe create a set of graphics, like little tigers or smiley faces or things like that, and say, okay, like these graphics are available, and we can put them, in a certain location. Some places you can't chain stitch just because there's no room to put in the machine. But yeah. So down the line, we'll have some more options in the chain stitch customization land. Jess writes, been wearing the hoodie for a week or so now. Any expectations that it'll soften up much? I mean, I don't think that 701 hoodie, I don't think it gets very soft. It has a hard touch on the outside, and it pretty much stays that way no matter how much you wash it. I've never washed one with fabric softener. We don't use fabric softener. That will probably make it feel a little bit softer, just because fabric softener kind of puts a little like silicone or whatever on top of the garment itself. But like the hard touch is kind of the point.
Yeah. It is heavy. It's not gonna change the weight. So
Yeah.
I think it might be difficult.
Yeah.
Also, just as a side note, I don't think you should use fabric
No.
softener much. Apparently, it's really not good for your
Yeah.
washing machine.
No, it's very bad for your washing machine. Yeah, I know some people use it, and
Yeah.
you know that's your choice or whatever, but I don't recommend it. I just if that's what you're looking to do, that's how to do it.
Yeah.
But it's not something I would suggest based on my experience with that. Okay. Cameron Smith, the weirdest location for a chain stitch someone requested.
Oh, if you order through our website, it automatically goes on the left chest. And if somebody asks, like I say like where, and I would consider it because again,
like
the
the lower back.
Yeah, lower back I did, but I think that's about it. I don't think. I mean, somebody requested something on the sleeve, which I couldn't do.
Just because it doesn't fit on the machine.
Yeah.
But yeah, nothing particularly weird. Like for our friend Mike, we did the lower back.
Yeah.
So it was the hoodie will, if you wear it with a denim jacket, like a denim jacket might go here. So like just at the bottom here.
Yeah.
He wrote F off.
Yes.
Yeah. So a little fun there. Vibe Island Comedy writes, hey guys, I ordered in size XL. I'm a thick boy for sure, but it's a bit large for me. Would you recommend shrinking it by washing in a hot cycle, or would tailoring it be the best? Tailoring it probably isn't the right way to go about it. If you hot wash, it will shrink a little bit. All cotton garments are going to shrink.
Yeah. Hot wash, maybe tumble dry. In general, like we don't recommend tumble drying, but because like it does affect the longevity of the fabric, you are damaging it by using heat and stuff like that. Yeah. But at the same time, if you must shrink them, like it's fine to put them in the dryer a couple times.
One thing to note that if you do attempt the hot wash, hot dry, it's gonna shrink. You'll get some shrinkage. So if it's a little bit of shrinkage you're looking for, maybe don't go all the way the hottest. Or what you do is a little bit of a warm water wash, take it out, see how it is, and let it hang dry from there, air dry. Because the hotter you make it, the more you're going to cook it. Just also be aware that if you do go through a hot wash, hot dry, and it shrinks a little bit more than what you expect, you can still get stretch out of the fabric. So the best way to do that is maybe get an iron and get some steam, or if you have a steamer, steam it, get it a little bit moist, and then tug the garment. So tug wherever you need it to stretch, and you can stretch out that area. And that's, to be fair, all knitwear is the same way. Like after it comes out of a wash, it's always going to be a little bit shrunk. So it's a good idea to, while it's damp, stretch it back out. So nothing, you don't have to treat our garments really any differently than you would any other garment. That's just general knowledge for you guys. Okay. Heavy hoodie. Okay, I want to go into
the new items.
Yeah, some new items. So we're gonna go back to some questions in a minute, but there's some new stuff I want to introduce to you guys for the heavyweight hoodies for next season, which is gonna be fall delivery. So we're probably gonna get our inventory in our hands around July-ish. August maybe. So around that time, everything's in the works. So we've got 3 new colors to introduce in the 701 double heavyweight hoodie, and we've got some little swatch fabrics here to show you guys.
You might not be looking at the correct color, but this is the swatch. So this one is what do we call it?
Kind of like a collegiate green.
Yeah. So we do have this khaki green, even though it's more like khaki brown. But like it is, we call it a green. And this one is a very different green compared to that. So
like a university sweater or something like that. Very, very nice color. I think it's great for the fall. It's gonna look. I think all of our hoodie colors. For me, it's always like it goes well with blue jeans. It goes well with jeans in general, but this color is very iconic
This is
American,
very nice.
so
Yeah.
I'm very excited for that one. And then we've got a collegiate crimson red.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this
it looks a little red, too
too
red in the
red,
camera, but
yeah.
it's a little bit darker.
It's muted red.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does look really red.
Yeah. So expect a new red. So we got the green and we've got the red, and we're gonna have a crew, just a very classic beige, like natural cotton color. And now the beauty of this one is that not only is it a great color to have in general, but this is gonna allow us to do dyes down the road. So if we want to do natural dye stuff, indigo, kekishibu, whatever it is, this is gonna allow us to have natural dye options down the road. So
I wonder, so Wild Frontier Goods
Yes.
are our friend, who are based in Japan, and he does, they do natural indigo dye, natural kakishibu dye, and stuff like that. So some of you are already familiar. Like he got Fox Fibre oatmeal color from us, and he had that natural dyed in indigo,
Yes.
and it turned out really great, and a lot of people requested that service. So basically, we, anybody who bought from us and said this, I want Wild Frontier Goods to dye, I'll just give it to them, and then they'll,
we met
dye
up with
it.
Mike and gave him the stuff.
So, but in the heavyweight, we didn't have a light enough color. I mean, heather gray is a light color,
Yeah.
but it's just like, we didn't have any of that done. And I'm just wondering if, fleece Fox Fibre is 345 GSM.
Right.
So it's less than half of this weight.
This is gonna be a thirsty boy.
I wonder if it's going to be like dyeable to a certain degree. It might be very, very expensive, because I think that those dyes are done by like weight of the fabric. Obviously the weight is more than it takes in more dyes, or it requires more dyes, so we'll see, but it might be cool. And what I love about this is that you see the natural like trash of the cotton a little bit. It's not like really out there, but you can see that like the natural look in here.
Yeah, so those are the three new colors. We'll show them one more time for you here. So we've got the green, right, that collegiate green. We've got that crimson red. It's like a dark red. And we've got that natural ecru. So that's coming for the fall. We also have two new fits coming for the fall. So we will have a classic zip hoodie coming in
that was like the most requested thing.
So in all of our sweatshirt fabrics, we're gonna have a zip hoodie, and we're gonna have sweatpants. Now sweatpants will be available in the Fox Fibre. That's no problem. We are sampling sweatpants in the 701 double heavyweight. Now the problem may be that the fabric is too heavy. So, and it's not so heavy that it can't be sewn, it's so heavy that it's hard to wear. Because a typical sweatpant is, elastic waistband with a drawstring, and I just don't want this fabric to keep falling off your butt. So we're gonna get the sample in, I'm gonna wear it around, I'm gonna test it out, and if I feel that it's something that I'm constantly fidgeting with, then I think we're not going to go forward with it. But if it is wearable and comfortable to wear, then we're going to go forward with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the balance is the key. Like we can't have it uncomfortable. It's a sweatpants. We can't have it like so tight at the waist that like it's going to be annoying. But we also can't have it falling down your
butt. So, so those are two new things that are coming. We will probably have the samples in the next like 6 to 8 weeks, maybe a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
As soon as we get them, we'll do another live stream with you guys to show them off. But I just wanted to give you guys an update on what's going on there. Joey Greco writes, hardware by YKK on the zip hoodie. The sampling will be YKK hardware.
We're shopping for...
We're shopping.
Yeah.
I want to have
it might be like YKK is good. Quality is certainly trustworthy. But we might want to go with more interesting looking zipper or something
the original interesting zipper we looked at was going to add $40 of cost. $40 of retail cost to the hoodie. So we said no. But we are on the hunt for very special zippers. It also, there just has to be a balance of price.
Right.
Like, sometimes you think that these zippers are like 5 cents or 10 cents. No. Sometimes they're a lot of money. Yeah. And the one we were like really gunning for, yeah, we got the pricing for it and was like, not for us. Not for us. Yeah, Justin writes Riri. Yeah, it wasn't Riri, but Riri zippers
would have been probably more.
Yeah, Riri's are very expensive zippers.
Yeah.
If you ever, for people who don't know, YKK is the global standard. Like they're the biggest, they're the best in terms of like variety and quality, right? Obviously, there's like Chinese manufacturers, no name stuff that make just whatever. But if you want to ensure its quality, YKK is the way to go. Yeah. And most of you know that your zipper might say YKK on it, so you're familiar with the brand.
There's a reason for that. Why YKK dominates the zippers, because it's reasonably priced and it's always good. Yeah, you're not gonna have a problem with it. But
Riri's Italian, and if you ever see it'll say RIRI on the zipper, and those are very expensive. Like you'll see it often in the luxury brand world, or if anyone wants to. If you know your zipper, that's a very pricey zipper. But there are other fasteners as well that are quite costly, or vintage reproduction companies as well. But anyways, we will the sample of the zip hoodie won't necessarily be the final production for the actual fastener. Okay.
So before we go anywhere else, I also want to mention that we will have a new colorway in the fleece Fox Fibre as well. So we have the oatmeal, we have the heather gray, and we will have another heather gray, but in a darker color.
It's going to be called
like a
charcoal gray.
So it is going to be a heathered look, and then inside is the same Fox Fibre brown.
Yeah. Whereas the gray is very gray, like a steel gray, the charcoal one will be like gray black. It's not all the way, not like a solid black. Yeah. But anyways, I don't have the swatch for it here. But as soon as we do, we'll show that off for you guys. But
it's like salt and pepper.
Yeah. So expect contrast. 3 new colors of the double heavyweight. We've got a new color coming out in the Fox Fibre. We got the zip hoodies. We got the sweatpants. Yeah. So that's what's going on in hoodie land. Yeah. Okay. Now in the t-shirts. Yes. So we've got our double heavyweight tees. Those are going to remain the same. Mm-hmm. No new colors there. Mm-hmm. We are, if you've been on the Wonder Looper website or through our retail partners' websites, you may have noticed that inventory is dwindling.
Especially white. There's a lot of white.
Thanks to all of you guys, it has sold very well. Like, I did not really expect this level of support this fast, and our inventory that we carried. That we made initially was supposed to carry us through spring, and instead it sold out in like 8 weeks. So we are working on a restock right now. T-shirts are in production, and hopefully we'll be able to get those restocks to our web store, our retail partners soon. It
will happen before the summer.
Yeah. But if there's something you're looking for, if you want it, grab it now, because the inventory is very, very light at the moment. So just be aware of that. Go ahead.
I just have a very exciting announcement in the t-shirt world. I'm just excited.
Okay, so we have a new t-shirt that we're working on. So we've got the double heavyweight t-shirt. A lot of people were asking us for a Loopwheel t-shirt. So you know us. We're not just going to make a regular Loopwheel t-shirt.
Yes, because it's out there.
Yeah, you can get one. You can get one from a million different brands. Quality is great. Don't get me wrong. But
we're not in the business of making something other people make.
Yeah, we really aren't. So we had to do it our way. So we had to source a cotton that was the best cotton, and not just the 1% of the best cotton. This cotton is the top 0.7% of ELS extra long staple fiber cottons in the world. American-grown, ultimate Pima cotton. So you've heard of Pima cotton. This is ultimate Pima cotton. It's
Doesn't
grown
get any
in
better
one
than
farm
this.
in America. It actually comes from the same farm that grows the Fox Fibre. I've got the fabric here. I've got not the fabric, but I've got the cotton here. If cashmere was cotton, this would be it. Because it's hard to see, but this is the longest staple fiber cotton you can get. It is so soft. It is so beautiful, organically grown. And so we're taking this cotton, Ultimate Pima, American grown organic cotton. It's being spun on vintage yarn spinning machines. So the importance of that is on a modern machine, if you want a slubby texture, it's computerized. So the computer controls the spin and it says, okay, at this pitch, spin fast, spin slow. So it looks random, but on a long enough, look of the cotton, there's a pattern to it. On a vintage machine, the slub of the yarn is natural. So you got a natural slub made on vintage Suriyami single needle knitting machines. So not only do you get the authentic vintage yarn, you got the authentic vintage construction. This is as authentically vintage as you can get it, made
with the highest quality
yeah.
cotton.
It's gonna be insane.
It's probably
Yeah.
gonna be the most luxurious t-shirt,
Yeah.
cotton t-shirt that you can ever put
Right.
on.
They will not be inexpensive. I will tell you this right now. But if you compare it to the t-shirt that you buy from the best brands in the world, it will be a bargain.
Yes.
Yes. So
I have seen regular ass cotton t-shirts
Yes.
with like a brand logo for like
$500
Yes,
or
that's-
more. Yeah.
yeah.
That's an insult. This will not be cheap,
yeah.
but it will be
It
the
will
pinnacle.
be cheaper than that,
Yeah,
and it would be
yeah.
like 100,000 times better.
Yeah. So the ultimate Pima cotton, the fabric is being custom developed for us. It's 100% ultimate Pima Suriyami. This hasn't been done before. So, in fact, like when we were in our production meeting, our guy was like, "Okay, this is gonna take a while to develop. If you want this for fall, you basically just have to commit to everything now without even looking at a fabric swatch." And we're like, "We're in. We're in. We're done. We committed."
Yeah.
So we're 100% committed to this already. It's in the works. We don't even have a fabric swatch. I'm just so confident in this fabric that we went with it.
Yes. And we will have a sample soon enough, so we'll see. Yes, I'm very excited about this. We'll
Yeah, we will keep you posted.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It's unfortunate because it's something that you like, unless you touch it, you're not gonna feel the like.
That's true. You may not, but I think
yeah.
if you guys know us, we'll do our best to showcase it in photo and in video and things like that. We've got the cotton. So anyways, one day we are planning on going to visit the actual farm, and I'd love to go and
That would be fun.
bring everything home to where it came from, So ultimate Pima Suriyami t-shirt, that's coming. We're expecting it for a fall delivery. So July, August, around there. That's when we should have it in our hands. Maybe a little bit sooner, but we will we'll keep you guys posted as always. Okay. Joey Greco, pardon me, but I must say, bruh. You got it. Everyone seems excited to see Sanchez. Sounds so good. Pedro writes, man, sounds like one epic shirt. It will be. I mean, you know us. We can't just go. Nothing is halfway with us. It's just pedal to the metal.
Yeah.
Yeah. All gas,
yeah.
no brakes. Just keep going. And
honestly, like, we did think about having like a regular like Suriyami t-shirt or whatever, but it's just like, for us, like, it's like, what's the point? Like, we might be able to, I'm sure we can sell some of those too, but it's just like, but we want, like, in this stage of our brand, we want to only like make stuff that are strong, that is us. Nobody else does it.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, we need to like use our limited resources into something that just is mind-blowing.
Yeah. Melody writes, where's the farm? It's in El Paso.
Texas.
Yeah, America.
Yeah.
America. Okay.
I'm sure there's an El Paso in Mexico somewhere.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. That's true. James Cardenas writes, what's the ASMR scratch equivalent for knitwear?
I don't know.
We're going to have to find out. A shake test. You know, you shake the fabric out.
But can you hear it?
Maybe.
I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. Next, we do have another T-shirt in the works.
It's also very exciting.
Yeah, this one's pretty cool also.
Yeah.
I really like being warm. There's nothing I like more than being warm. I don't like being cold. And I have owned a lot of, those heat tech kind of undershirts. And I wanted to make my own. So we worked with our guys. We found some amazing fabric. And we're reproducing a Swedish military thermal. So
that's another thing about like our fascination, is that like military invents a lot of things that we use as regular consumers. They are they have resources of the government, and they do like it's really important for the soldiers to be comfortable, or like to be to have a functional clothing,
right?
And I thought it was very cool that this vintage Swedish army, I guess it's underwear for them, had this like amazing thermal textured.
So it looks, once we have the fabric sample ready, we'll take some like good macro shots so you can see it. But a typical like waffle like T-shirt, you can they're very, very big, and you can see like the pockets in there. This one's like tiny micro pockets. They're very, very, very small. And it's a cotton wool blend. So a natural fiber thermal tee. 8% wool, so it's not going to be like, itchy or anything like that. It's going to be very, very comfortable right off the bat.
And it shouldn't shrink as much as a lot of
and those little tiny micro pockets are going to insulate all the air for you. So it'll be a great T-shirt to wear underneath a sweatshirt or underneath something.
Yeah.
And we're going to have some good, army-style colors to go with it. And so we've got a very, very functional, natural fiber thermal. Something you don't see a lot. And I think the texture is going to make people very, very interested in. And the functionality of the shirt is going to be very, very high. So 2 new T-shirts are going to be coming for fall. Ultimate Pima Surrey.
It's ultimate luxury.
Yeah.
And the wool one. I'm excited about the idea of natural like, heat tech. Well, we shouldn't say hate tech.
Yeah, it's not
registered.
That. Yeah.
But it's just like, it's some things that we can source naturally that is actually functional, and it keeps you warm, and it's very thin fabric. Like, it's not a thick fabric that's going to keep you warm. It's just, it's going to fit underneath anything.
Yeah.
And again, like, it's more like a underwear in that sense, but I mean, the T-shirts used to be underwear. Like now you can wear it, but it's just it's a great, I think, thing that not a lot of people are doing. Yeah,
and you don't see. I mean, I feel that there is a more of a return to wool. Also, I see a lot more wool being talked about in in our sphere. Yeah. So I'm liking the fact that we can incorporate wool into something. You really don't see a lot of wool-based T-shirts.
I think wool got the bad rep for a while. It's just, like you think of wool, it's going to shrink, or it's going to be itchy or whatever. But if we use it in a clever way, wool is an amazing fiber.
Yeah. If you use the right blend of wool, the right stock of wool,
it's going to be breathable and it keeps you warm. Like it's not necessarily the same thing as like, artificial synthetic fiber that, keeps you warm. It's like sometimes those are not as breathable.
Right. And this is a gift from nature. So
exactly.
An all natural thermal tee. I think you guys are gonna love it. We'll have previews of all of these fabrics basically as soon as we get them. I'm just excited to talk to you guys about it and let you guys know what's going on here at Wonder Looper HQ International. Okay, I'm just looking at our notes to make sure we didn't forget anything to talk about. We talked about restock status already, the hoodie hood changes. Anyways, we'll leave it to the Q&A portion of this live stream. So if you guys want us to answer anything, we'll open the floor up to you guys. I'm gonna say that one question that we still get asked, that still comes up every now and then, and we talked about in other videos, and the ounces, the GSM question. Because every now and then we'll get a message or we'll get a comment, I'll see it on a video somewhere, that someone says, oh, well, this brand has an even heavier ounce sweatshirt, or this brand has an even heavier ounce t-shirt, yada, yada. Mm-hmm. And, being as inquisitive as I am, I'll go and check and I'll see the website. And it's exactly the problem that I talk about all the time. And it says, this is a 24-ounce fabric. Mm-hmm. This is a 14-ounce fabric, whatever it is. But it doesn't say ounces per what. Mm-hmm. It just says ounces. Mm-hmm. So is the entire garment 14 ounces? That'd be a pretty lightweight garment, if you ask me. That's why when we write the weight, we write either the ounces per square yard or GSM, grams per square meter.
And that when we say ounce, maybe we skip the whole thing, but we do mean ounces per square yard, always. We're not going to mix it up with other measure. In
the world of knitwear, it is very, very, very common. I would say the most common way to measure the weight of knitwear is ounces per linear yard. And a linear yard of fabric is the width of the fabric 1 yard in length. So
unless you know the width of the fabric, that figure doesn't mean anything.
Right. So the widths of fabrics can be different. Different manufacturers, manufacturer at different widths. So if you're comparing fabric A to fabric B, linear yard to linear yard, it doesn't mean anything because one fabric can be wider and the other fabric can be shorter.
And just in general, most of fabrics, knit fabrics, French terry, jersey, whatever, is definitely wider than a yard.
Yeah.
So a lot of the times that number is the
inflated.
Is inflated.
Right. So we write the unit of measure so that we're comparing apples to apples. When you compare ounces to square yard, one fabric to another, you're always measuring 1 square yard of that. And it's usually 1 meter squared. So 1 meter around or so that way we're always comparing the same thing. And so when you see it on a website and it doesn't say the GSM or the ounces per square yard, question it, right? And look, I don't think anyone's being malicious here either, because some people, they just, they're retailers or they're brands, and sometimes they're just not as technical as a brand like we are. Mm-hmm. That's the information they got from the mill. They're just putting it out there for you to know. And the mill, that's the information that they use because that's the information that is generally used in that industry, so they give it to you. And what can even happen is maybe a brand or a retailer or whatever might see that ounces and think, okay, well, that's ounces per square meter or ounces per square yard because that's what I'm used to in denim, and then they just do a conversion.
Reverse engineer the GSM.
Right,
that is
incorrect.
Actually the worst thing you can do because GSM, I want to say that GSM is always something that you can trust, but if it came that way, it's possible. I'm not saying that it happens all the time or anything like that. We don't know that, but I think it has happened in the past, and so that's why you might not be necessarily able to trust GSM numbers.
Yeah. So there's a lot of bad information out there. We're doing our best to put as much good information out there and knowledge out there in the knitwear world. I feel like, unlike denim, the world that we come from, there's just less knowledge about knitwear out there. And as we're learning and we're exploring and we're deep diving, we love sharing information with you guys. So we're always just going to keep whatever we learn new, you guys are going to learn about it. We're going to let you guys know about it. So just be aware of that, and that that's what goes on. You know, Catalyst of Fire writes a good suggestion. As a suggestion, perhaps you could fold up a shirt on a scale and show the actual weight of, say, a medium hoodie. We actually did that.
We actually, like, every time we get a new production, we weight, like, a few of each size to make sure, because for shipping and stuff like that, I don't want to have to weigh each packages. So, like, I usually just put the weight of each size, you know, average out between like 3 that I like weigh. I'm not gonna weigh every single one, but so that we have that information. I guess maybe next time we'll just
I think I don't remember if in one of our videos we showed it off, but like the medium hoodie, this weighs just under 2 pounds.
It's like 1.5 kilograms.
Yeah, it's a heavy boy.
Yeah.
So it's a good idea. The garment weight. Anyhow, the thing is, like, even if we put it up there, nobody else is gonna put it up there. So it's hard to compare apples to apples. And of course, garment weights can vary depending on like the details and all that kind of stuff. But look, just know that the GSM and the ounces that we put up are equivalent, and we try to put that, you know, let everybody know that. So, you know, if not that I think anyone in this audience is like coming after us, but sometimes I've seen comments and be like, oh, that brand has a much heavier hoodie. And like, even I'll go to the website just to check it out, and like, you'll see the French Terry, and it's like, come on, bro. Like, look, like if you look at our, like, hopefully you can, maybe I can get a different color, but if you see the size of the loops on this thing, and then you look at the pictures that they've got on their website, it's like, we're not even in the same league here.
Yeah, even in the front, you can see how big. Like, I'm not saying it necessarily has to be like a thick, you know, yarns to make a heavyweight, but this one is thick yarns, also dense. So, you know, I can't really imagine anything beating it that doesn't look like this.
Yeah. It's got to look at least like what ours looks like to be to be in the running.
Yeah, and this is also why like we want to be in as many, like not as many, but like in a good physical retailers, because I think it's important for you to actually touch it, and it's like, whoa, like this is not the same as you know, that heavyweight hoodie. It
is not the same. Yeah, it's like when people say heavyweight, okay, and then you put this on, you're like, you know, like there's a lot of heavyweight hoodies out there. You know what I mean? Like 350, 400 GSM. Like that's standard heavyweight. And like, you know, they're comparing it to like, you know, very, very light stuff. But like when you physically hold one of our hoodies, you put it in your hand, you're like, okay, there's something going on here. Like this is not the same. Like, even the same thing with the double heavyweight t-shirts. Like the first impression is always, like I wasn't expecting that. So anyways, that's that. Okay. I think that's everything from our notes are covered. If you guys have any other questions you want us to cover, let us know in the chat here. Okay. Santiago writes, any reason why you guys are only bringing one new color to the Fox Fibre section? Also, I'm not sure if I missed it, but did you mention the colors of the sweatpants? Thanks.
So for the Fleece Fox Fibre, we are using, you know, we want to explore more in the Fox Fibre land, and we might do another fabric that's using Fox Fibre yarns and stuff like that. But for this particular one, we are using recycle cotton on the outside, and then inside the Fox Fibre and brush and stuff like that. So it's like, you know, we have unless we develop from yarns, which at this point in our endeavor, it's not so convenient. We can't jump into that as of right now. We have to use the yarns, recycled cotton yarns of the same size, of the same quality that's available. And so that's why we are kind of limited to what we can do with this exact construction. But, you know, in the future, when we do other Fox Fibre materials, we are definitely going to consider using other colors, other different materials.
Different constructions and things like that. So there will be more Fox Fibre down the road.
Seems like it's a
popular thing. Yeah, we have a pretty good relationship, and we're developing our relationships even better with all the suppliers, the makers, the growers of Fox Fibre. So we're a big believer in it, big believer in the ultimate Pima, where the Fox Fibre cotton is also grown. So this farm is very, very, we love it. We love it. So you'll see some good stuff. Also, as far as the colors, so we did have the 3 colors of Fox Fibre hoodies that are coming. So the charcoal, the oatmeal, and the heather gray. And then in our double heavyweight hoodies, we have the original colors that we run, and then we will be adding the collegiate green, which you can see here. We'll show that off a little bit again. And then the crimson red. Hopefully that's a good way to see it. And then the ecru. So the ecru is great as just an ecru on its own, but even more so, it'll be something that we're going to be able to dye. So if you want natural dye stuff, we'll have options to do that kind of on a faster
So all of our
turnaround.
fabric should be available in sweatpants. Right?
Yes.
Yes. Although
Presuming these are acceptable
right.
as
And
sweatpants.
I'm also not sure if we're making red sweatpants. I think we talked about it.
Oh, maybe. Anyways, we'll figure that part out.
Who wants red?
Yeah, everyone wants red sweatpants.
I don't know.
Yeah, no, red is gonna look nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let us know.
yeah.
If you have any thoughts.
Okay. Melody Murray, will the thermal shirt look like a traditional long sleeve thermal? It's gonna be a short sleeve thermal.
Yes, but to be fair, I mean it's not difficult to develop a long sleeve version of that, so we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But as of right now, it is planned to be a short sleeve thermal. Christian B, any retailers plan to be in the San Francisco Bay Area?
Are we confirmed?
We're not confirmed yet,
Okay.
but
So we might.
we're working on it.
Yeah.
We're working on it. I'm not going to jump the gun, but there will be plans to be a good retailer in the area. Santiago writes, thank you guys, excited to see the new products. Well, thank you. I think we'll leave on that one.
Yeah.
Right. Thank you guys
you
for
so
tuning
much.
in to the live stream.
On Valentine's.
Yeah, on Valentine's Day. Thanks for sharing your love with us. And we will see you guys in another live stream. Nothing is scheduled yet, but of course, stay tuned to the email, to the Instagram. Be subscribed to all that stuff, and you're going to get the newest and latest, greatest information from us.
Mm-hmm. And if you're watching this after the live stream happened, you can leave us a comment with any questions or anything like that.
And we'll get you back to you there. All right. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you guys again soon. Have a great evening or morning wherever you are in the world, and have a nice day. All right. Bye, guys.